Welcome back to another episode of the Head First Podcast and College Baseball Saturday. It's another great Saturday morning, Easter weekend. We got some series finales today, and as well as some game twos in the series. A lot of exciting stuff. I'm in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Stillwater.
Brutal game yesterday, blew a 9-2 lead, but I've been thinking about today and bouncing back all day. How are you guys doing on this fine morning?
Dude, I'll tell you what. It was heartbreaking to watch the boys go down like that yesterday, but I played a damn good round of golf yesterday, so I'm fired up for that. That felt good. That kind of kept me on my high seat because I was feeling a little bit watching that game in the golf cart on the speaker. But
I'm
you know what?
great.
It's game two. We bounced back like Jordan 96, 97, and we're in there.
Hey, last time I checked, you need 2 to win a series, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I discovered this place called Eskimo Joe's. Probably the best college town bar I've ever seen. There's like 4 rooms and like 4 different bars. It's massive, and it's 100 yards from the football stadium and baseball stadium. It's actually unbelievable.
So you're telling me you took an L from the stadium, but when you left, you caught a W?
Yeah, I won.
We started winning right after we lost.
Yeah. I evened up the series last night.
Damn.
That's for damn sure.
Hell yeah. I like to hear that. Let's go. Well, shout out Eskimo Joe's. I hope you guys are doing well down there.
I think I'm going back today for pregame, actually.
Yeah.
6 p.m. start.
We might have to go live from Eskimo Joe's.
I might. We've talked about it. So, actually, I didn't know you or Kling, you may have met him, but one of Nick Statterman, he was a Nick McNicholas guy, played football at UC. He was buddies with Ty, my brother who played there, and I didn't know he lives here. He texted me yesterday. He's like, dude, are you in Stillwater? Like, I live here. So we're going to meet up today, and I think we're going to have an absolute day and show up to the park in a lot of Bearcats gear, ready to go.
I think Stillwater's sick. That's like probably a crazy good place to move. I know that Stillwater, like you're like, what, an hour or 2 from Tulsa? You're close to Texas, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like it's like a sneaky good place to move because like Oak State makes that place, and Oak State's campus is sick.
I've kind of noticed, I'm sure you guys have traveled around more than I have, but I feel like Cincinnati's honestly like a little bit unique in the Big 12 in the way of like all of these are pretty much college towns.
Yeah.
Like every place I've gone to,
I guess exceptions of like
BYU is just a little bit different because Provo is different.
Yeah,
Orlando, yeah, that's different.
Arizona's
close enough to like Dallas and stuff. So I guess not everywhere, but
I see what you're saying now.
Your Kansas, K-State, OK State, like the few that I've came to, I'm seeing nothing but cows and corn for hours until I get to campus.
Dude.
But yeah, it's awesome. The cool thing, this place too, is like, or even those places in general, is you do get a good mix of people though, like anywhere you go, because it is the university that makes the town. So it's not all like it's inevitable that you're going to see college kids for sure, but it's also like there's no other place to go for the older people. So like they are also coming to
see the guy that graduated in 1990. Just hanging around campus. So.
Well, yeah, I was asking him because, like, and I guess there's not any place. I was like, I just don't want to walk into a place. Obviously, it's going to be college kids. I'm not that old, but I don't need to be walking into a place where I'm the only one that's actually 21. I know, like, we have
we definitely have a couple of those here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but they kind of said that's not really how they operate down here.
No. That's good. You can definitely Morgantown. I guess West Virginia kind of makes Morgantown. Morgantown definitely was big and is still big, but I think West Virginia makes that place
1,000%.
So, there's definitely a couple more that you can rattle off, but yeah, that's sick. Props to Oak State. Props to Stillwater.
Well, my
Put us on the
thing
map.
too is I know some people like to visit places that have like the city close. I'm the opposite. Like I'd rather see these
Yeah.
places where the school is all they got because
Yeah.
they're
And
bigger
then
fans and I don't know. It just makes it more worth the trip. In
you
my
really
opinion.
see where the blood, sweat, and tears come from just
Yeah.
at university. That's all it
Yes.
is right there. You live and die with that team across your chest, and if they're not doing good, you're not doing good.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, let's get into these a couple of these segments that we got before we bring in our special guest. Did not have Lounge Dogs footage from this week, but I know he's been absolutely getting after it this weekend. They're hosting Georgia. Tough weekend for Lounge Dog, though. They're down 2-0, which we'll get to in a little bit. He's winning ball games in the left field lounge. I'm pretty confident of that. He's doing his part. And just came up short a couple times. No footage there this week, though. So let's get into our next one. Let's talk about who's hot in college baseball right now.
who's hot? I'm sticking with the boys we had on the other day. I mean, I know they dropped that one yesterday to Oklahoma, but that Roll Tide seems to be steaming hot. So, I mean, you drop one, but I see them winning this one today in Oklahoma for Game 3 for the series. Buddy, I think the Tide stays hot. Shout out Platt. Shout out Braun and Luke Vaughn. Keep the boys staying hot.
No, they were obviously they had the 2 sweeps in a row, and then people were kind of thinking that like, oh, they got to go on the road again. We'll see what happens. And
they walk in there and win Game 1.
Smacked Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Came in hot with a statement win. So
I'm going with the Tide.
That offense is rolling. And when Tyler Fay's on the mound for them, they are absolutely rolling right now.
Dominant.
Cole, you got a team?
Yeah. Our dogs we love to talk about Nebraska, 23-6 right now. Hot to start Big Ten play. Swept Michigan State, took 2 of 3 from Michigan, then swept Indiana. They currently are on a 7-game win streak, and they got a doubleheader against Penn State today at home.
The double boost.
Stay hot. They're hot. They're going to stay hot.
I want to say outside of that Michigan loss, I think you can go further than the win streak there. I think it's like 18 for their last 19.
Yep. Before that, their previous loss was at Auburn on March 1st.
A few weeks ago.
A month ago. Good for them. What up,
I love those two. I also want to bring up one. We'll talk about the UCF Knights.
Yep.
I hate those guys, but I got to put a little bit of respect on them. They're having a good start. And then you got to talk about the UCLA Bruins, what they're doing right now, like 20 in a row. And I even said we'll see what happens, but I know they're on a 19-game win streak going into this week playing UC Irvine and 3 games against USC. And I was about to tweet it out. I didn't want to get hated on, but I was kind of just going to say I would be very, very impressed if they come out of this week undefeated and 2-0 right now. So
did they know how to lose?
I don't know, man. They're a factory.
They're going to be impressive.
Are they capable of losing?
I'll say this, though. The only thing that late down the stretch in Omaha, I kind of like a team personally. It's a little bit more battle tested than a team that's only lost like 5 games all year. So I'm just interested to see. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out because they are like an absolute machine right now, though.
I think right. They're gonna run through whoever those West Coast teams travel to Los Angeles and go to that regional. I think they're just gonna mow down through that, and then they're gonna host the Super.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting. They're going to walk into Omaha being high shoes, but losing probably maybe 10 games. But I don't know. I want to see a team walking in there with like 20 losses like Ole Miss did that one year when they finally got in and won the Natty.
Battle tested. All right, real quick, what about who is not?
You got anyone, John?
Kind of still the Clemson Tigers. Not really any new ones, I don't think, that we didn't touch on last week. LSU got a big win. Them and Tennessee are just interesting right now.
Dude, it's like they get the SEC, they sweep one weekend, and then they get swept the next weekend. It's like Tennessee was just out of the top 25. Now they're like in the top 25, and then Kentucky sneaks in the top 25, and they drop one to Missouri. Like, let's go. Let's figure it out.
I mean, that was the same way with Vandy, too. They got swept by Mississippi State, then swept Tennessee, and then they lost the series to A&M on the road. But
a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
Weird. All right, let's do this underdog parlay real quick, and then we're about ready to bring our friend Steven here on. I'm going to actually need you guys to place this one for me because I have a great feeling that I'm going to be in Oklahoma. I just got rinsed yesterday by the Bearcats losing, and I have a feeling this one's going to hit, and I'm not going to have it placed, and that's just going to be the luck of my draw. So I'm going to have to Venmo one of you guys to place this.
Oh, you know who we're starting off with?
Who's that?
We started off with Arkansas. They're block 124 on the road at Auburn, and it's tied 1-1. So those boys are taking another one today.
Is that tied? Did they come back and win yesterday?
Hellfire. Yeah, it's 1-1.
Damn.
Series is tied 1-1.
They did come back.
Hell yeah.
All right. Woo pig,
Sammy.
Who do you got, Harding?
I'm rolling with Illinois.
Ooh.
Shout out our boy Shoop again.
You like those guys, don't you?
I do. Well, I love my friend Shoop.
They're fighting Illini.
Yeah. They lost game 1 at Purdue. I think they bounce back and win game 2.
I love that. I'm going with our Bearcats today. Boots on ground. Really tough loss. Night game. Fired up.
Yeah.
We talked about it pre-air. I could say it. I think we're either going to win or lose by 8+ today. But I'm going with the win. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's plus 822. So I'm going to need to send you guys $10 so we can put that down and I can get my lick back. We are 0-7 on the season right now. So
dude,
the odds are in favor, boys. It's coming.
Bound to hit. It's bound to hit.
It's time.
Feels like a dog parlay today. Just feels good.
Feels good coming off the fingertips. Let's introduce our special guest picker for today. We got Mr. Big Donkey, Steven Schoch himself. So did I pronounce your last name right? Is it Schoch? Is that the correct?
You got me. You're good.
Let's go, Steve.
Well, it's been a long time coming, man. I feel like we've been working on getting you on here for quite a while, and glad it finally worked out today. We're pumped to have you. How are you doing on this Saturday morning?
Doing good. Can't complain. You know, sun's shining, birds are chirping. We got a full slate of college baseball ahead. This is like one of my personal favorite weeks in college baseball as a kid who did not make money on NIL because the school has to give you per diem for the week of spring break because otherwise, you know, normal students, they aren't there. So they have to pay for all your food. So this was like a huge week. This was like you get paid $1,000 to go spend on stupid stuff. And this was before everybody was getting paid like a Ford Focus at least, I feel like. And so this was an awesome week. I remember my freshman year, we got, you know, App State found a loophole and gave us gift cards to the Red Onion, which was a local restaurant that was just awful. But every year after that, it was like $500 to $600. UVA hooked it up a little bit more. I think they were in the 1,000 range. But this is always an exciting week in college baseball.
Yeah. Where are you setting up shop at? Are you at home or are you on the road?
So I'm at home. In Celebration, Florida. It's beautiful. We got 71 degrees. The morning doves are cooing. I don't know what they're sad about, but they're sad about something in their game, apparently. So the vibes couldn't be higher.
Nice.
Yeah. Back to that per diem topic real quick. Just wanted to ask this question. I know it feels like they started to kind of crack down and pay some more attention to how we were spending our money as my college career progressed. Just wanted to ask you, with that per diem, did you guys have absolute free reign? Was there ever a situation where it's like, hey, you can't use this for 12 beers? Or
I mean, that was always voiced to us, but then they would just hand us cold hard cash, and you know, playing at UVA, we were playing at a lot of schools in the South where it was like every gas station has like, 40s and all sorts of different liquor. But, after that Sunday game, the bus ride home is going to be a little bit tighter on the back because you're 25. It's like, all right, I'll do it. I can't remember what it was. I don't drink much now, but I did back then. And there were these things called Johnny bootleggers. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
On the road, one of those before a bus ride was just phenomenal. It put you in the best headspace. You get swept, you sweep, either one, you feel great. It gets you in that, coaches would always talk about that Jeter mindset, and you never know if he won, lost, or he's doing well, he's going 0 for 4. It gets you right in that Jeter mindset.
That's awesome.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to start using that Jeter mindset a lot more. I love that.
You got to get to it. It's this night's going to be the night, whether we win, lose, or draw, we're still going to win.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of how I approached last night. We were talking about I'm in person watching the Bearcats. We blew a 7-run lead, and I evened up the series last night. We'll say that. That's for sure.
That sounds like one trip to 7-Eleven, 3 taquitos, and a grape Johnny bootlegger. And you're right back. Series is even 0-0.
Right back in the Jeter mindset.
That's great.
All right. Well, let's get into game 1 of our matchups for the day. We got the UCF Knights traveling to Morgantown to take on the Mountaineers. UCF walks in there and takes game 1. From West Virginia, which they were at the top of the Big 12, but I feel like people were still maybe a little higher on the Mountaineers than the Knights. Not enough respect on them yet. 1-0 series in Morgantown. Who do we got for game 2?
I don't know. I think that was a little stumper from the UCF Knights. Like they walk in there and take game 1, but I don't see the Mountaineers dropping another one at home with that almost sold out crowd. Did you see that crowd last night? Outrageous. It was packed to the pits. Yeah. Elbows to assholes. I mean, everywhere. Mountaineers fans love their baseball. So I think I'm going Mountaineers for game 2 today.
Yeah. UCF, blazing hot start to Big 12 play. A little surprised by that. We did talk about it a little bit, how they had a similar start last year and then kind of dropped off at the end. But they're walk into Morgantown, take game 1. I think that's a very tough place to play. West Virginia also around the top of the Big 12, pretty hot start. I think West Virginia ties it up at 1 and we'll have a game 3 to decide the series.
Yeah, I feel kind of – I mean, they're on the road, so they won't hear me say this, but they are my local school with UCF. And I think, yesterday was a real just statement as to kind of what this UCF program is. They have a lot of these really, they have a lot of transfers from big name programs where, they went to these bigger name schools. They might not have had the success they were looking for. So I think they're a team where they have this chip on their shoulder. So they're going to have those games against, like West Virginia, where it's, hey, you might be number 1 in the conference. We don't care. But also, the Mountaineers have Max Yell on the mound, and a 1.36 ERA is a pretty solid way to take the wind out of an offense's sails. And again, with that home crowd factor in Morgantown, I don't see them dropping this series. But again, with the Knights team, the makeup of it, I wouldn't be surprised if they, sneak away with this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do it to us and unfortunately sweep the board. I'm also on the Mountaineers. I just think last week against Arizona State, dropping that Friday and then coming back and winning Saturday and Sunday on the road showed me a lot about that team. Steve Sabins is gritty. He's going to get those guys fired up, and that fan base, like you guys mentioned, is going to fire those boys up. I think this is kind of a coin flip game. I think you got two good arms on the mound, but I'm going to roll with the Mountaineers at home to even this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Booyah.
All right, let's go to Starkville, Mississippi, which wants Steven to, before we get into the game, you obviously played for Coach O'Connor, and he's been in the spotlight for a while now, but I feel like even this year, that fan base, you've been down there as well, and you've kind of seen how they've had his back, and they are absolutely fired up down there right now. Just talk about your experience down there at Mississippi State, and then just personally playing for Coach O'Connor a little bit.
Yeah, so it's just an awesome environment in general. The program is insane with just how much they invest in their baseball. I think, a lot more colleges should be investing at that level because we've seen how much it has paid off for Mississippi State. But at the same time, just the amount that people care there, it's a different level. I mean, I was getting fed parts of animals I never even eat. Some guy tried to convince me to eat a cow's tongue, which just doesn't me. I think, the cow deserves to die with the tongue. Call me crazy there. But I had someone sub in and eat that while the guy was looking away. Shout out to Lounge Dog forever. I'll always love that gentleman for that, saving my life there. But playing for Coach Og, one thing about him and kind of getting into this series is just the way he forms teams. He could have a team of kids that, are going out there playing with gloves on the wrong hands, and they would not get swept. He wouldn't let it happen. So I feel like, today I think Mississippi State will bounce back. I don't think they'll get swept at home. But that being said, I think this has been really telling about just how good the Georgia Bulldogs baseball program is. Because, again, this isn't one of those series where it's, Georgia's just coming to town and Mississippi State's making a ton of errors, beating themselves, which, hasn't really been the case for them. And so that's why I think they'll be solid today.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess I'll lead us off here. If you look at the range and the circumference of what this SEC baseball, I don't know, the trajectory of where these series go. Last week, it was 7 out of 8 series got swept. And like Steven just said, Mississippi State isn't making all these errors. They're not booting the ball around. They're not striking out 25 times. It's just good, hard, fundamental baseball by both teams, and Georgia's coming out on top in both of them. So, I don't know. This one's hard. I don't want to see Mississippi State get swept at home, but I don't know. Looking at this guy starting today with a 9 ERA, going at 1-1 versus Duke Stone at 4-0 with a 4 ERA, I think I'm going to go with the Bulldogs to get the sweep in Charterville.
I'll say there's no chance
They're
that
both Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs will win today.
But the Bulldogs will win today. I'm going with the Georgia Bulldogs to get the sweep today.
I'm going to
say it's a great pick. You can't go wrong with the Bulldogs.
Great catch. I mean,
are we allowed to do that? Can I just get this one right no matter what?
I don't want to interject, but I do feel like we need more mascots, and I feel like more canine representation could really move the needle. The Tigers. We got so many different dogs. It's like, let's spread the love in the dogs. But I'll let you get back to it. Sorry, that's spot here.
I think I'm going to roll with the other Bulldog. I'm kind of with – I'm big on Coach O'Connor. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country, and he has been for years now. I think Duty Noble will be popping today. It's gonna be electric. I don't think Mississippi State gets swept at home. They played close first game, I believe. Mississippi State tried to come back, just fell short. I think they find a way to win today, so I'll go with Mississippi State.
Yeah, so you did say was Lounge Dog your guy down there?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, very good guy.
When I went down there last year, he's who took care of me, and he's part of our he's one of our first segments every Saturday. We'll get the Lounge Dog lineup and what he was cooking up Friday night. So he's been awesome in sending that over to us, and we're huge Lounge Dog fans on this side as well.
Gotta love.
He's the man. But yeah, this one's interesting. I know I said on a different show Thursday, it feels like the same Georgia team to me that looks very, very strong all year and offensively. And then the pitching isn't good enough to go deep or just withstand all year. They've showed up to date, at least enough to win all these games. I mean, I know Thursday night was a little bit more high scoring, but yesterday was a low scoring game. And yeah, this Georgia team, I mean, that's not easy to do, walk in there and win Friday and Saturday. Very impressed with them this weekend. They've kind of bump their way up on my list a little bit. But I'm going with the Dogs. They got to salvage the series at home. I'm going with the Hail State, Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Nice.
I think if I'm right about what I think about Georgia's pitching staff, which I'm probably totally wrong, they're probably better than I think. But Sunday's an advantage for Mississippi State. And if they can try to get deeper into that bullpen, I think they got a good shot to salvage the series today. All right, well, let's move on to maybe one of the only big Big Ten matchups all year. 11.7 was calling this the series of the year, which I don't know if I'm going to take it that far. But we got two new age Big Ten teams, the USC Trojans, UCLA Bruins, two teams that have great history in baseball and maybe haven't been towards the top in the past few years. And we got a number 12 against a number 1 team in the country. So I think it's fun across college baseball. We can all agree that it's fun when these teams are good, and they're squaring up in Westwood this weekend. UCLA is up 1-0 on the series. Who do we got taking game 2?
Yeah, I don't see the Bruins falling off a high horse and not be hot, because those dudes seem like they can't lose. So, I mean, the Bruins just sound like, I don't know, they're wall-to-wall, neighbor, hard-hitting team, good throwing team on the mound. So I'm going with the Bruins to keep this streak alive and knock the Trojans off once more.
Yeah, we just talked about it, and who's not. I don't think UCLA knows how to lose. I'm pretty sure that's just like something they can't do. They're not capable of. I'll keep this one short. I'm going with the Bruins too.
That's fair. I think, I would call this one, series of the year in 1972, back when, back when USC was like on their absolute tear. But it is very much more exciting in college baseball when the West Coast is popping off, because when I think about baseball on the West Coast, I'm thinking about palm trees, I'm thinking about fundamental baseball, and I'm thinking about dudes just absolutely slapping the baseball around. And, personally, I really like that. I like when we can do which coast is better at baseball. We have the SEC over here, which kind of makes that a little bit hard to have that conversation. And now, of course, with these two teams being in the Big Ten, that only adds to our East Coast value. Because we all know they're situated over here. But either way, I think this is a really exciting matchup. USC's just looked so crisp on the mound this year. And, the Bruins lineup, it's scary. And truthfully, this year in baseball, we've really seen it. Offense is always going to be king. So I do think UCLA is going to walk away with this one. But that is a great point that you guys have been making about, when a team is going on a run in Omaha, they need to know how to lose, because, you win, say you sweep through your regionals, you sweep through super regionals, you get to Omaha, you get your first loss, and you're back against the wall for the first time all year as a team. It's like, and some of these guys, it's the first time they're playing back against the wall baseball in their entire life.
Right.
And so, it's one of those things where if UCLA loses, I think that's better for them in the long run. But at the same time, I do think they'll probably win the baseball game today.
Yeah. Okay. This is I'm going to try to make up some ground. I know we didn't talk about the records. I'm 1 game ahead of Corey and 3 games behind Cole right now. I'm fading the team on a 20-game win streak. And I'm going with baseball's got to even out at some point. The only thing that can stop the best lineup in the country is really good pitching, and the Trojans got it. Call it a fluke loss, call it whatever the hell you want. They got to lose at some point. I'm going with the Trojans. Give me the Trojans.
There you go.
Let's go. All right. Our next, we're staying on the West Coast with this one, with our mid-major series of the week. We got the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos going into Cal Poly. I talked about it in a different show. Cal Poly, people were high on, then they got swept by USC. People maybe wrote them off or put some respect on USC. Either way, they had been rolling ever since then, until they ran into the Gauchos this weekend. They're up 2-0 on the series. Jackson Flora pitched a complete game on Friday or Thursday. Lights out. And this team was, maybe you could say, scuffling for a week or two, just dropped a couple tough games. Safe to say, I think they might be back I have a future on the Gauchos to be in Omaha, and I'm liking it right now. So 2-0 at Cal Poly. Do they salvage this Sunday at home, or do the Gauchos get the sweep?
Gauchos high and heavy all day. I think they take this sweep, and I kind of like your Omaha prediction over there, JP. I kind of like him taking this one deep with that Friday guy on the mound every Friday and probably 3 times a week. That dude looks like he can straight up shove.
I think I think he's right now
the best pitcher.
Dax Whitney. I think Flores, you could argue, the best pitcher in the country right now.
Absolutely.
And
I don't see him dropping game 3.
I mean, they got some dudes in that pen and staff.
You always get a sneaky West Coast team with those like 3 or 4 arms that like roll out every year. Like, I'm pretty sure the past 2 or 3 years they've had a first, second, or third rounder, right?
It's funny. Last year, UC Santa Barbara, it was like Bremner was their dude. And then people were like, wait, is this Flora kid? This Flora kid might be better. He's throwing on Saturdays. And then this year it's like, he might be. Like, he's the dude. He is a dude.
Yeah, I keep seeing all this hype about him, and the stuff I see about him's not bad at all. Nothing seems to get bad publicity about this kid because I think he can straight up throw, and I think this Gauchos team is big winners when it comes to the long run, and they know how to lose like we were talking about. I think they walk into I'm going to say right now, I think they walk into UCLA and maybe upset them in a regional later in the year because they're going to be over there on that West Coast.
I like that.
I think they walk in there and upset them, but I think these guys ride high and Gauchos get the sweep today.
Kling's predictions just get more and more specific and like farther out each week. It's hilarious and I love it. But no, you spoke on it. Mr. Flora throwing a complete game. That means they got the bullpen arms ready to roll. I think UC Santa Barbara rolls in and sweeps Cal Poly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think to what you were saying about, Jackson Flora last year and Tyler Bremer, just, not necessarily on that same level, but with Kellen Montgomery rolling on Saturday, he's usually giving them 4 to 6 quality innings. It's, not quite the same situation because the fastball is not necessarily running up to 100 every outing because who does that? That's just kind of rude to other teams. But what I like about this one, what I like about this game taking place in Cal Poly, it's just a great reminder that California's got a little bit of everything. They got, the palm trees, they got the mountains, they got UCSB where you're going to get a seagull in the net during your game. And then, you got Cal Poly where you're going to, not have as much water featured in the broadcast, but those beautiful mountains and backdrop. You get great sunsets. Love watching their broadcasts. That being said, their broadcast tonight, I do think will feature UCSB winning this one again, just with Kellen Montgomery and the fact that the entire bullpen is just itching to get innings. Because at that point in the weekend, when one of your teammates throws a complete game, awesome. Complete me guy move though, where it's like, look, we've been working all year I've worked so hard to be a good closing pitcher for you. You've been working on being a starting pitcher. Don't worry about closing. And I got that. And so, so you add that element to where not only is this bullpen fresh, but you got guys who are just itching to get in the game because they don't want to go home, sit through the bus ride. And then on Monday, what's supposed to be their off day, have to show up to the field and throw a bullpen. So they are itching to get their work in. And that's a hungry staff. So I really do think that's going to really define the weekend for them.
I like your perspective of the pitching because obviously you were a closer, a relief guy. And I like where you're coming from where, those dudes do show up for the pen on Monday when they're off day because I was a catcher myself. I got a couple texts at 9, 10 a.m. Hey, Kling, can you catch his pen at 10:30, 11? I'm like scratching my head, like laying in bed. Oh, I'll get out of bed at like 10, maybe roll over the field.
It's the worst. And it's
maybe come up with an excuse or two like, hey, I got to golf today. Monday off day. I'm golfing.
Yeah, it's like no, I'm really focused on my schoolwork, actually. I'd hate for the NCAA to find out about violations because they care.
Sure.
Oh, I love it. I'm on the Gauchos as well. I'm going with the sweep. It's my team, one of my mid-major teams that I'm riding with all year. So give me the Gauchos.
Hell yeah.
Game of the week, or our game of the week this week. I love that it came down to a rubber match. We got a 1-1 series in Charlottesville, or Virginia is in Charlottesville, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't totally fumble that. We got the Seminoles coming in. Weird week for them. They lose their all-star, Miles Bailey. Prayers out to him and his recovery. You hate to see that. The kid was on pace for an incredible season. And, we talked about it a little bit. He's like, as far as one player that can really crush your season, it's usually a Friday night arm, right? Or like a big weekend arm. I put Miles Bailey, not that this is going to crush their season, but as far as a hitter, I think it's really hard for one guy to hurt a team. I'd put Miles Bailey in that select group of like 3 or 4 or 5 hitters in the country that you got to change. Like you have to make adjustments with him not in your lineup. It's just a different look of that lineup. But yeah, they bounced back and even up the series yesterday. And we got a rubber match there. I know this is a huge weekend for Coach Pollard at home in Virginia. Definitely one where he and others and fans have circled this series on the schedule, and they've been waiting for this one. So hopefully with Game 3 being on a Saturday, we can get a good crowd in there and get some juice in that stadium. But rubber match in the ACC, who are we going with for this one?
That's this one's hard. I've been looking at these stats for a good 30 minutes now, and I'm in between. I mean, both these pitchers today hovering around a 5 ERA. We got Bryson Moore and John Pony, whatever his last name is, but I don't know.
Sounded good.
Yeah, but I don't know. Florida State losing game 1, bouncing back game 2. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Seminoles today to keep it rolling. Coming off a win yesterday, I think it's a lot harder to lose after coming off a win than winning than losing on Saturday. Like, dang, I got to bounce back and win. But I think I'm going with the Seminoles from Florida State.
Yeah, I think both these games, I mean, fairly close. 4-3 on Thursday, 5-2 yesterday. Like you said, I think this is kind of like a coin flip game for me. I'm not real sure who's really going to win this game. I don't feel confident in saying either one's definitely going to win. But I'm going to roll with Kling. I'm going to take the Seminoles as well. I think they'll roll in there. They're playing for their guy that's out for the season. They're playing for Miles Bailey this weekend. They're going to find a way to win the series.
No, I like where you guys' heads are at. I think with Florida State, losing Miles Bailey, it's never fun, but it does make room for Eli Putnam to get reps at first base, and I do think he is a valuable bat. It's just a matter of him getting more reps over there. Yeah. Personally, obviously, I'm going to go with UVA. I'm never Sam Harris has been a guy who's just really jumped onto the scene for me. Like, all offseason, I was excited to watch UVA because I was like, oh, AJ Gracia is going to be in a UVA uniform. Why is that happening? I don't know. That's sick. So I was excited about that all offseason. Now I'm like, wait a minute, Sam Harris, you got 10 bombs. You got one more than AJ. That's sick. I need to know more about you. So I've become the biggest Sam Harris fan over the past month or so of college baseball. So I do think I think it'll be a really good crowd. You usually get a lot of little kids there on Saturday games, which they're out of school. It's a beautiful day in Charlottesville. I'm sure it's always a beautiful day in Charlottesville for baseball. But the stadium, the environment on Saturdays, those were my favorite games just because, you get a lot more people in the stadium just because scheduling wise, it makes sense. And of course, with Easter weekend, there's a lot of families in Charlottesville this weekend. It's a good vacation destination for people too. Just plugging everything while we got airwaves for Charlottesville. But again, just like the environment, because on Friday nights, the games weren't necessarily so packed because it was a COVID season for me. So it was a little bit different for me. But even just going back as a fan on Friday nights, you get a decent crowd, but Saturday is really when people are coming out because the weather is much better. It gets freezing cold at night there. So I think the boys will be warm. They'll be happy. There will be a lot of little kids there yelling at everybody to hit home runs, asking for balls, which will get the pitchers mad because you'll have little kids hanging over saying, hey, can I get a ball 1,000 times? And then you go into the game, but you're throwing miles an hour harder because you're like, God, those little kids are annoying, but you're happy to be away from them. You are, even though you were at one point that little kid. And you'll go home and you'll reflect on that, but you will beat Florida State, hopefully, in the way to doing that.
Nice. I like that. I like that.
I love it. I'm also on the Who's today. I think, Corey, I'm honestly, I'm going against your logic was kind of riding that momentum off of Saturday's win. And mine is kind of the opposite. I'm rolling with my old school. If you win a Friday, you give yourself a great opportunity to win the series. Like I said, I just think the fan base and this whole program had this weekend circled, and
up and to the right.
Sundays tend to maybe be offensive games, which both of these have been low scoring. And give me that Virginia lineup that I think this week, here and now, is a little bit more comfortable and prepared than that Florida State lineup coming off the injury and just a couple changes and new pieces. So give me the Who's at home to take this series. It's my first time going against the Noles. The chop is one of my favorite things in college sports. So it's the first time I will not be playing our war chant.
Yeah.
I'm on the yeah.
Steve,
While
what are we
talking about kids, I have a topic that I wanted to get your guys' opinion on. About to tweet about it, but I didn't want a bunch of people to start hating on me. I saw a bunch of people this week. I think Ole Miss had their Kids Day game. You guys, did you guys have one of those at Virginia? Kids Day game?
Yeah, we did.
I know the fans like it. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter that were talking about, like, this is so awesome, the Kids Day game. What's our feel on Kids Day games? Because I know, like, it's screaming on every fly ball. I mean, there's a lot going on in the ballpark for those days.
Yeah, so I can't imagine what it's going to be like around the 6th and 7th innings around Kids Days these years. That's got to be just horror and shame. Ours was against, I'm trying to remember, I believe it was against, because we only had one because we had it right before COVID canceled the season. It was a home game against the University of Massachusetts Lowell. And we won that game 24-5. Very, very tight game. A lot of offense, every fly ball, every pop-up, anything, anytime the bat hit the ball. It was,
Anything.
And I so badly wanted to get in. I didn't get in that game. The kids had all left by like the 4th inning because it was like 3 hours at that point. But it was just, you talk about a nightmare fuel game. You have, put up 20 runs in the first 4 innings while you have 1,000 kids there just screaming their heads off, and then make everybody leave the park, have it to where you can hear a pin drop for the last 4 innings of that game. Gosh, it was, I didn't even mind that we canceled things afterwards. I was like, you know what? Why couldn't we have done it 4 innings before? Why couldn't we have canceled the season then? Then I would have just been like, you know what? All right, we'll call it a day. But it is very fun. It's a great reminder of like, hey, look, we were all that little kid one day of just
absolutely
like to me, going through it, I remember looking at college baseball players as a kid being like, wow, that is a god. And then, being in those shoes of being that guy getting looked at, I'm like, I'm not a god. I'm a Jordan. Actually, like if you order McDonald's in the Charlottesville area after this game, there is a high probability this guy is going to deliver it to you. Actually, so, it's just so much fun, like having that realization, just kind of having that reality check. Because in baseball, you're always told, "Oh, don't dwell on how far you've come because you can't get complacent." But when you've come a pretty far way, you should dwell. That's my biggest advice to anyone. Dwell super hard. Sit back, relax, listen to the birds chirp, sniff the flowers, and look around and go, wow, holy crap, look at where I'm at. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
And so I think kids' days are great. I understand why they might get hate from time to time because it is loud. It's a lot of energy. But I think the world is a better place when everybody remembers, hey, look, we were all just dipshit little kids who wanted to hit a ball with a stick at one point, and we all get excited by that. And I think if, not to get political, if world leaders, if everybody in the world remembered that from time to time, hey, look, I was a kid who liked sports when I was little, and so is that person I'm talking to, I think the world's a little bit better,
Yeah.
Maybe start
1000%.
talking about this will take us into another topic. I would just say like some nostalgia, just start talking. That might be a new tactic. Like if I ever get in a disagreement with someone that I don't know, I'll just start asking him if he played backyard baseball as a kid, or if he liked Pablo Sandoval, or who his favorite character in the game was.
Mario Super Sluggers.
Yeah. While we're down this tangent, fun thing to do when you're mad at someone, just think of them like a kid in the George Lopez flashback show, or the George Lopez show flashbacks, where it's just them on a little body with their adult head. It really squashes anything. It's just like, I'm not even mad at you. You know what? Because in my head, you look ridiculous right now.
Oh my god.
Where it's I can't whenever I think of my dad as a kid, this is the only thing I see on Twitter, and they're hilarious.
I'm stuck on it. I truly am, because I used to love that show growing up, and then I found out he's not that great of a person. I'm like, God, why you got to be not a great person?
That was a great show. That was a show for me where I never really watched it. It was just one of those where you roll over from a sleepover in your buddy's basement at 3 a.m. and you just hear the song and see George Lopez floating across the screen, and then you roll over and go back to bed.
Yeah, I was never looking for it, but sometimes it was there. It was there.
That's awesome. Steven, while we got you on here, back to our college baseball topics. So we might need to get back on our main big college baseball guy yourself. You obviously went viral a couple years ago with your post-game interview. What's been the most exciting thing this year about college baseball? What have you seen? What's caught your eye?
I think I don't want to put on a tinfoil hat here, but last year our home run leader had 26 home runs in, I think, 56 games, I want to say, around that time frame. This year we have Quentin Coates. Last I checked, he was at 19, I believe. That number is probably up by now.
20
now.
20, yeah, just shocking. So I think something's different with the baseballs. Everybody's throwing harder, which, that's different. So maybe it's, the ball goes a little bit further, hitting 95 opposed to hitting 87. But I think something's different with the balls to where, they're going a little bit further, which, this is one of those years where baseball is gaining more and more popularity and momentum. I feel like the World Baseball Classic did a great job of that this year. And I think college baseball's operatives, or whoever is pulling the strings, saw that and was like, hey, what if home run numbers were up this year? Would that be good for the game? And people are like, yeah. In Major League Baseball, everybody complains that home run numbers are down from time to time because we got guys who look like they're made in labs throwing baseballs. Or guys who actually went to physics class throwing baseballs. And that'll play a factor in it. But I think something's got to be different. Maybe it's the balls are harder, maybe the seams are lower, which I don't think is the case because fastballs are still moving like they're flying saucers. So again, I don't know what it is. I don't want to, throw anything out there, but I do think the home run numbers are up for whatever reason, and that is very exciting for me. Yeah. Whatever reason it is, whether it's the fact that everybody looks like Anakin at the plate, or the fact that balls might be harder, or bats are juiced, or whatever it is, keep doing it. Do more of that. If do steroids for it. Just one guy. Just do it. Everybody's got one guy. Just have that guy do it more. Kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love watching the home runs. It's been so exciting to see. And every weekend, you're seeing a new guy come out of the woodworks, which is so cool. Last weekend, for example, Landon Hairston.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I can't say his last name correctly personally because growing up around the Maryland area, I was a Baltimore Orioles fan. I had a sports jersey from this sports store called Modell's. It was a bit of a bootleg sports store. I had his uncle's jersey, but it was spelled Harrison with an extra. Got it for like 20 bucks. No junior. It was Harrison Jr. But so I can't say his name properly because I had that jersey growing up, and what I wasn't good at learning as a kid. So what I did learn, unfortunately, stuck, and I learned some wrong things. And that was one of them. But he's been popping off for Arizona State, and it's been so exciting to see just like how there's been a different guy emerging each weekend who's quietly been having an insane season, and they'll do something to catch everybody's attention. It's like, wait a minute, you've hit how many home runs at this point? Okay,
Right.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, love it. Good stuff.
I would say before we move, it is a little weird. It's like, what, it was only 2 years ago Charlie Condon broke the record, right?
Yeah,
and then he had like 34 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year you said what, the high 26. So it's like, it seemed like they've made a change 2 years in a row now. Like they may have been like, okay, we're hitting too many home runs. And then last year they're like, okay, this is boring. Let's just go through it and go back to long balls all day.
Yeah, like my senior year, so 2021, for example, I think Wes Clark led the nation. I know he was leading the nation when we played South Carolina, but he had 23 home runs. And everybody was like, oh my God, this is unheard of.
Getting the 20s.
Like, okay, yeah, that's our second baseman.
Yeah. No, it is insane because like my oldest brother, his last year in college baseball was 2018, and like in that age of college baseball, if you hit 15 or 20 homers, that was like insane. Like that was really hard
on the first round.
Yeah. And now it's like what you said. It's like, like our 7 holes hitting like 280 with like, or like 220 with like 17. Like, okay.
Coach hit like 15 homers in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
It was a stretch of games where he was homering twice like every game. And some of them he had 3. I was like, dude, you've hit like 8 home runs this week.
Yeah, it was a 4-game span. He had 7 of them. I'm like, what?
Yeah, 2017, everybody was going nuts because Gavin Sheets at Wake Forest was hitting home runs. He had doubled his home run total from the previous year. He had doubled and added some change. 21 home runs.
Yeah.
And against Gavin Sheets, I played with him in high school. He is the most power I've ever seen in a human being. That was he would produce 50 this season, in my opinion. My humble opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get those dudes that were like hitting 15 to 25, 6, 7, 8 years ago, but like, what if they came in at 2026, 2027? What are they going to hit there? 45? Like, what?
Which, like, I'm excited about that. I'm not having to stand 60 feet 6 inches away from it. I'm safe.
Absolutely.
I got a net in front of me. We are good to go. But God, that's terrifying. People are ripping the baseball, but I love it. More people should hit the ball hard. I think people should do it every day while also incorporating a beautiful amount of small ball for the rest of us.
Nice.
Love that. Love that. All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. It's been an absolutely awesome time having you on. Glad we got to do this. Like I said, feel like we've been trying to get you on for a while now, and we finally linked up schedules and made it work. So we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you joining us today.
No, of course. It's been a blast. I appreciate the patience there. Of course, I've got a hectic schedule from time to time, so I really appreciate you guys being flexible there, but it's been a blast. I'm really excited. Today's going to be a great day of college baseball. This is a great start.
Yeah,
absolutely. Great day of college baseball. Get out, enjoy the sun, watch some baseball, listen to some birds, hang out with some little kids in a not
at the
weird
ballpark.
In a normal way.
In a normal
That's part of your normal day-to-day routine. But if you're going to a kid's day and they happen to be there, don't make it your objective to go for them. Go for the game. I got you.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you.
We'll see you in Omaha, Stephen. Me and JP are making our way out there, so we might see you in Omaha.
Yeah.
We're going to do what we can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good
All
stuff.
All right. Steven, thank you again for joining us. If you're listening, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you joining us as well, and we will see you guys next week.
Thanks, Steve.